Welcome to the Speedpaint feed Q&A, or should I say Q&A feed Speedpaint? Anyway, you watch me draw in a very fast pace, faster than it originally was, and I'm going to read your questions and answer them. Wow. Anyway, first of all, thank you so very much for the questions, and I am terribly sorry if I'm going to butcher your name or Nick or whatever you want to be called on YouTube in any case. But yeah, let's get right to it. Pierre Muller, I'm honestly almost seeing the kind of umlaut dots. I almost went with Müller. Anyway, asks, where are you from? Love your work. Oh, thank you, Pierre. I'm not sure, should I say Pierre? Tangent. Yeah, well, anyway, thank you so much. And I'm a Finn. I'm from Finland. Yay! The Warhammer podcast asks, hey Narina, are you a descendant of the White Death? And if so, how is your sniping skills? Sorry to say, but me and Simo Hauha are not related, and one can definitely see that in my sniping skills. I've never, done anything with a sniper, and the only times I've been shooting at anything, they were either with a bow, or then I think it was a rifle. Yeah, and I totally missed the target, so, yeah, you wouldn't, I'm not sure if we even should be spoken in the same sentence, or spoken about, yeah. Vedara asks, how you get into 40k and how did you come to meet Remlays? Well, every single one of the people who have played 40k games with me, all turn your gazes at our game master now. Yeah, basically, the whole thing went like, hey Narina, what do you know about 40k? I'm like, 40 what? And he was like, okay, I'm gonna explain it to you. And he explained to me what 40k was, the very, very basic principle of it, and told me that he wanted to try out this Rogue Trader campaign. And it was supposed to be something very, very small. I was supposed to be the only player in it. I was like, okay, fine, yeah, it works. That sounds interesting, yeah, because we've played games like that before where I was the only one playing, and he's a very good game master, shout out to you. And basically, I asked, okay, so, it's a grimdark world, right? Yeah, it is. And I'm like, I'm not gonna make a grimdark character. And so, Lady Admiral, or then Lady Captain, Shahira Bonner, was created, and I could tell you so many stories of Shahira, and eventual party's adventure, because we got more players into the campaign and it ended up being a hoot in either way. So yeah, I blame you, Mr. GM. It's your fault. And how did you come to meet Remlays? Basically, there was this video on the Bruvalfa Boos's channel saying that, hey, we need female voice actors. And I was like, ooh, heck yeah. And you have to be into 40k? I am. You have to have British accent. Yes, I can fake one very well. And you have to have a good mic. I was like, I don't have one. But my friend does. And after that, it was very, very, very many days, I'm not sure if it was weeks, but at least days of convincing from my friends, come on, you have to do it. And I did it. And I got in. And Remlays was there, and he asked me for a quote, and then another quote, and then a third quote, and eventually he asked me hey, how would you feel about being in the 40k theories, reading homebrews? I was like, oh, yes, please. So yeah, that's that. Dorvazak Uzen. He actually asked in two separate comments things, but he asked, will you return as the sister of Battle Idol? Also, I love your voice. Ah, thank you. if Stringstone will have me, then yeah, of course I can do Rosie. That sounds so bad. That sounds so very, very bad. But yeah, I'd love to repeat the role of Rosie, or Sister Rose. That was very fun. And another question he asked is, what is your favourite weapon in 40k and why? This is a tough one. This is really a tough one. I'll do melee and then I'll do ranged. Melee, it's a tough choice between eviscerator and a power sword. Just because, like, my rogue trader had a power sword with which she, among other things, fought 40 minutes and didn't die. Was very close to dying, but yeah. And eviscerator because in our Dark Heresy campaign, there was this wonderful, wonderful character, not mine, but a friend of mine's, this is how English work, yes. And he had an eviscerator, our darling interrogator, Dragon Rend Yi, if I remember correctly. Please, if I just imagined that, let me just think that, because that, like, image is amazing. And yeah, that's why I actually took an eviscerator as a part of Narina's gear. So yeah. Alright, the ranged ones. Velasco dueling pistols. Absolutely my favourite. Just because you can be all fancy and just shoot ones with them. Just you don't do anything with them. They're just there so you can be pompous and pretty and and of course my rogue trader had a pair. Naturally. Every fight was like started with Velasco's and then we would switch to the power sword, among other things. Jonathan E. asks, how did your character as acolyte stand to the Holy Emperor? Does she ever question his godly holiness? And another question, you do songs from time to time. Would you sing us a little part on Finnish? Maybe a lullaby? Well, Jonathan, I'm so sorry. I'm yet to meet the Emperor, but I'm looking forward to it. And why ever should I question his godly holiness? Okay, naturally he is a man Emperor of mankind according to TTS, but if I have powers, like psychic powers, and he has powers, and other beings have powers as well, why wouldn't he be awesome and like existing and being all godly and stuff? We hear these tales every day. And he was awesome. So why would she question them? And singing something in Finnish lullaby. Which one should I pick? Joka ilta kun lamppu sammuu ja saapuu oikea yö, niin nukkumatti nousee ja ovehen hiljaa lyö. On sillä uniset tossut ja niillä se sipsuttaa. Se hiipii ovesta sisään ja hyppää kaapintaa. There you go. There are naturally many more stanzas to that, but I'm not sure how much time you guys have. And I'm not gonna sing those all. Otherwise you'll be falling asleep. Because it's a lullaby. And yes, that was one of the ones my mother sang to me as I was a kid. I really like it. Shot Gandalf asks, who is your favourite character from the Warhammer 40k universe? Also, who is your favourite character from the TTS series by Alpha Boosa? That's a difficult one, yet again. Why do you guys ask me so difficult questions? I think, because naturally we can't take our role-playing characters or any other characters that are non-canon, I really actually like Uber Amos from the Eisenhorn series. If you haven't read them, I haven't read them all either, so it's alright. It's just, well, let's just say, like, he craves knowledge, and the way he goes about it, I really like it. Like, I have a soft spot for him in my heart. And favourite character in TTS? I would say Vulcan, but Rogal Dawn has actually, climbed on the list. So, Dawn or Vulcan? Because I don't think we can really pick Lady Melissa from this list. That would be a bit too, je ne sais quoi, entitled. Jesus is here, look busy, asks, Hey Narina, I have a couple of questions. Have you thought about becoming the third host on Adeptus Podcasters? I know we'd all love to see you on the show more often. Also, if you were given a blank check, which 40k army would you collect and why? Finally, who influenced you to become a singer? Love your work, by the way. You have the voice of an angel. Ah, thank you. That's very kind of you. About that Adeptus Podcasters thing, it's like it would be the decision of Remlays and Michael from Tactica Imperialis, and I'm not sure if I have enough to give to the podcast as if I was the permanent member of it. I mean, I'm very honored to I'm very honored to hear that you'd like to hear more about me on that podcast series, but if they want me there, sure. But I'm not sure if I could be the best possible option for that, placement. And if I had a blank check, many options, but first and foremost, the orcs. And I'd pick the orcs because I just love the insanity of them. They're kind of like, yeah, it's gonna work. Why? Because I said so and everyone believes it. Sorry about the accent, by the way. I tend to do them, and I try not to, offend anyone with them. Sorry if you're offended. It was not my intention. Anyway, but yeah, it's like, yeah, the rated ones go faster. Why? Because they do. I just love the whole idea of it. And who influenced me to become a singer? Mom! I blame you. Yeah, my mother is a very musical lady. Doesn't play any instruments, but we sing all the time when I'm at home, like since I was a child. She encouraged me to go on a musically orientated class, and I actually got in. Because naturally, you have to apply to those. And that made me so happy. And yeah, I've been singing since childhood. And yeah. So, yeah, Mom, I blame you. Your fault. Kazezuna2 asks, how many cannonballs were shot during the 30 Years' War? Now, I'm so sorry, I do not remember, even though you have told me once or twice, but I do remember how many horses died in the First World War. Eliphaz asks, can I be unbanned from the pub's kitchen? I promise not to modify or blow it up again. Also, can I have cookies? Eliphaz dearie, first of all, the pub is not mine to command. Second of all, don't if you go to kitchen and you blow it up, then you'll have to get your own. Perhaps you can get one for your quarters, or the quarters of the kill team, or whatever. And sure, the cookie jar is over there. Just remember to leave others some cookies as well. Alright, you have to be in on the joke. These are the things that we go through on 40k Theories server on Discord. So if you want to be a part of that fun, go support 40k Theories on Patreon. There you go, Remlays. There's a shout out for you as well, even though you didn't ask for one. Jason Savage asks, do you paint 40k models? If so, what is the figure you have most enjoyed? I actually haven't painted any 40k figures. When I was younger, my then boyfriend gave me some fantasy dwarves to paint, which was nice. And the last thing I've been painting is an Achillean Leviadon from Age of Sigmar, so no, sorry, I haven't been painting any 40k models. I have some, but paints are expensive, and I'm not that rich, unfortunately. Mike J. Murdoch asks, congrats on reaching 1,000 subscribers. Anyway, my question is, how did you and Remlays first meet, and how you started working together? See the answer to the third question, and you might just find out. Anyway, thank you so much for the well wishes. The Emperor of Mankind asks, what happened to Behemoth 3 out of 3? Don't ask me, ask Eliphaz. And it's not the Eliphas who has been in these comments, it's the other one. So I don't know, I'm sorry. Alexander Eden asks, alright, I've got one for you. What inspired to start posting music to YouTube? Is there a particular reason, or was it more of a spur-of-the-moment kind of thing? It was kind of a spur-of-the-moment. There has been naturally this joke going on that I am actually a text-to-speech device or text-to-speech program because I tend to speak quite monotonically. So we had this joke, naturally this joke was going on, and I was like, okay, I could make an April Fool's video out of this. So I sang Still Alive from Portal, and I drew there my character being, singing and stuff. And it ended with Rem going, like, one day they'll believe you're real. And then I did a very robotic laughter after that, so it kind of started from there, and I thought I'd be, like, posting only once a year, but then I kind of got carried away and started singing and drawing. And, yeah. Whoops. Stringnet95 asks, out of all your and Remley's homebrew series, has there been a specific chapter or story that stuck out for you? I actually remember best the ones where I have to do some character work. For instance, the one in which I'm declared a saint. Order of the Coming Dawn, yeah, I remember that especially well, but that does not mean that I wouldn't appreciate every single homebrew that I get to read. I think you guys write wonderful stories, and honestly, I'm just very, very proud I can read them out loud. And I really admire your creativity. Marshall4 asks, what do you think is the God Emperor's guilty pleasure in music? Well, 40k pop, of course. Orka Dliacha, or Dliaka, or Dliasha, or Dliasa, or... I'm terribly sorry, I hope at least one of them is close. Anyway, they ask, let's see. What do you think about 1K Sons? I mean general opinion, and the opinion of Iskandar Kaon from the Black Legion and Talon of Horus. Those two audio books I absolutely loved. And if second question is permitted, of course it is. Favorite audiobook reader? I say Jonathan freaking Keeble, but Gareth Armstrong is quite cool to listen to as well. Yeah, sorry about the censoring over there. Well, I really like the Egyptian aesthetic, and I gotta say I haven't read Talon of Horus or Black Legion. I'm very bad at reading. I actually enjoy audiobooks. The only shame to this is that the only audiobook that I've heard, or actually I think it's a short story, is The Last Church, and it was read by a fan. So I'm not sure if I really can answer this question. Sorry. I'll definitely have to give a listen to these books and hear the voices of Jonathan Keeble and Gareth Armstrong. After that I can give you an opinion of those, but at the moment I'm not gonna even try to guess what they sound like because that wouldn't be fair to you. TechPriest17739 asks, hello Acolyte Narina, might I ask what got you interested in the Emperor's Holy Inquisition and the 40k universe in general? Love from Mars. P.S. When is the next Exterminators needed? We love to watch our machines serve the Imperium's needs. Yeah, I'll give you a call if I ever happen to make Exterminators 2 Electric Boogaloo, and naturally those machines shall be used. But 40k universe in general I've explained, but the Inquisition. As I mentioned, there was also a Dark Heresy campaign, which happened after the Rogue Trader campaign. We played with the same group, and I was there like, okay, Inquisition, yeah, I met those guys over there in RT, and one Ordo Malleus Inquisitor slapped my Rogue Trader on the ass, and she wasn't sure if she was protected from the demons now or not. Anyway, that was my that was my first, no, perhaps not the first, but my most memorable kind of first encounter with the Inquisition. And in the Dark Heresy campaign, it was a lovely one. It was absolutely, I adored it. It's still the same GM. Your fault. But yeah, that got me interested in the Inquisition. And, yeah, I'll send my love to Mars back. Ninjabread Man asks, Greetings, lass of the pleasant voice. I'm unsure if you cosplay regularly, but is there any faction or group in particular that you would like to cosplay as? And if there is, what attracts you to them? Thank you, and have a good one. Oh, very kind of you. I'm afraid I don't cosplay. I've done it once. I was Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica, but it's yet again the same thing as with the, with the paints. It's kind of expensive. But if I were to cosplay someone, or some faction, the Sisters of Battle that would actually be nice. And, I'd so go to a con and cosplay Acolyte Narina. And A, be there like, okay, how many recognizes me? And B, I'd love to see the people who would be there like, yeah, that's not that faithful to that character, Do you even know what kind of character that is? And I'd be there like, yeah, I have a hunch. Just a small one, but I have a hunch. Am I mean when I say that? I hope not. Anyway, Jake McKinnon asks, do you regularly speak so harmonically or mostly just in videos? You've got a very pleasant way of speaking, but I know some folks, myself included, tend to have something similar to a customer service voice on camera. Yeah, I don't normally sound this interesting, honestly. If I were to... well, I'm gonna show you guys. For example, if I'm just chatting away in Finnish. First of all, Finnish doesn't have that much, intonation variation. That means like there's no particular melody. As in English, for instance, when you ask a question, you'll have to raise your intonation. Which basically means I won't ask you, how are you today? But I'll ask you, how are you today? That kind of slight jump over there at the end. That's what people who speak English do. Or at least this is how it was taught to me. But yeah, if I were to speak in Finnish, yritän tässä nyt selittää sit ihmisille, että mitenkä toimii toi intonaation painotusero Suomessa ja Englannissa. Ja josta tuntuu, että me tälläkin hetkellä vähän esitän tälleen niin kuin mikrofonille. Ehkä. And what I just about said there was like, well, go and try and explain intonation differences in Finnish and English. And I think I might be putting on a show even for the microphone, even now. Perhaps. But you can hear that kind of, I speak a bit more monotonically. So, yeah, no, I don't sound this interesting in normal life. Not at all. And honestly, my accent can vary if I speak to other people. For instance, if I speak with British people, it tends to go a wee bit Irish. I don't know why. But, for instance, when I read Homebrews of the Week, I go very received pronunciation. So, yeah, I definitely have a mic voice. Death to Rainbows asks, I see you do voicing parts of 40k Theories videos. What was your favourite piece to voice? Also, do you sell out your voicing skills to other channels? Well, my favourite pieces to voice naturally are the Homebrews of the Week. If I had to pick one, like, from the whole, quotes the quotes that I've done, I really like the snotty, I think it was a Rogue Trader, I don't remember. Anyway, it was like very much this kind of, I don't care what you think. That kind of voice, I really like doing it. And, do I sell out my voicing skills to other channels? My voice is heard on other channels. For instance, naturally 40k Theories, this one, TTS, on many occasions, and on one video on the Warhammer podcast. You can go check that out as well. I just do shoutouts for everyone, don't I? You'll have to search for those people by yourselves. I'm not gonna link them below. Haha. No, that was mean. Sorry. And honestly, yeah, do I sell them? I'm trying to make, a commission price list for voice acting, but it's kinda hard. I have one for drawing, but I could figure that out from, looking at other kind of commission price lists for art, and with the help of my friends, naturally. But I don't see that many commission price lists for voice acting. and the ones that I do see are for professionals, and I don't consider myself a professional, so, maybe? Perhaps? There is a chance? Yeah. First Captain Valerius Rensorfen asks, Question 40k. Are you the one who fired on Attila and the Primarchs? Well, Valerius, if I intend to hit with my exterminators, I bloody well hit. I hope that answers your question. Brenticorn asks, where do you keep all those cinnamon rolls you keep mysteriously handing people? Well, first of all, I keep them in the oven, I bake them, and then I put them in a basket, because where else are you going to keep them? What a silly question. Vulcan was too pure for us asks, what is a great teacher story moment you've had? Yeah, I actually am a teacher, so from the point of view of a teacher, I have many stories, yes, but perhaps one of the best, I'm not sure if it's one of the best, but like the first one that comes to mind. I was in teaching, I'm not sure how old they were. Well, anyways, that school has children from 13 to 15, basically 16 years old. Yläkoulu in Finnish, I think it's something like junior high school in the American or Hollywood terms. And there was this one kid. He came into the class, he was wearing an Overwatch hoodie. And I was substituting during that time, and I asked him, what's your favorite champion? And he was like, huh? Your favorite champion? Huh? Or hero, whatever. Huh? You're wearing an Overwatch hoodie. Which character do you play as? And he still didn't get it. And his friends were like, oh, come on, like, she, what? Like, you play games? Yeah. You play Overwatch? I've tried it. And at that point, that young little dearie, he actually understood what I was talking about. And I can't remember what his favorite was, I'm so sorry. Because they started, like, asking me, what's your favorite? Who's your favorite champion? Or hero, or whatever. I was like, yeah, I actually like the Reaper. And they were like, whoa! Ooh, I gotta tell you another one. It is actually 40k related. I was substituting art at that very moment. I was, cycling around the classroom, and then there was this one kid who, was just doing that whatever thing we were doing there. And I spotted from his, file, they had these huge files, there was this one drawing, and I looked at it, and I couldn't see, like, I just saw a little corner of it, and I was like, that's a mechadendrite. Have you drawn a tech priest? And he was like, what? You know 40k? Yeah. Wow! And, like, he was over the moon. He was so happy. That made me very happy as well. Ugly Weirdo asks, would you like a sandwich? I actually am a bit peckish right now, so a sandwich would be marvellous. Then again, I think I'm going to cook something after this. A sandwich would be nice, but yep, we'll see which one gets to me first. Your sandwich or my cooking. Thank you for the offer, though. Ray N.A. asks, what's your YouTube plan in the long run? I have a plan. I hope I can make these videos from time to time, when I have the time. And I hope that the Article 13 won't, just remove all my videos. Because, well, you all have heard about Article 13. If you haven't, go Google it. But yeah, I think that's on my channel, the basic gist of it. Some people have asked me about Patreon, but it's a bit iffy in Finland, so I don't think I'm going to ever have one. But yeah, otherwise on YouTube, I hope I can keep on doing things with 40k theories and, well, TTS naturally. Jutnik asks, on a scale of 1 to Imperial Sainthood, how much did you enjoy playing as Lady Malice in TTS? Oh well, Jutnik, I'd say it is at least worth of 500. John the Crazed asks, what's your favorite breed of cat? If you don't like cats, then what's your favorite breed of dog? If you don't like cats or dogs, then what's your favorite breed of X-type of pet? I like Burman cats, by the way. Funny you should mention Burman cats. I think the parents of a friend of mine have a Burman cat. And he looks adorable. I love cats to bits, and I would really like to have one, but I'm allergic, unfortunately. But there is this one cat breed that I might be able to get, and it's called Siberian, or Siberian cat, and it has quickly risen to be my favorite, in addition to the... what do they call the ones? You know, the basic cat that doesn't have any breed. Anyway, those are lovely, and the Siberian. What's my favorite dog? I like dogs as well. I might be allergic to them too as well. I'm not sure. I need to get tested. Perhaps Finnish Spitz? They look a bit like Shiba Inus and, well, a bit like foxes. And I really like foxes. Dark Angel asks, "Hey Narina, I think it's time. Time to come clean. Time to let the cat out of the bag." Funny you should mention cats. Time to confess, to implicate oneself, to spill the proverbial beans. Time to reveal that you and your country are all made up. That you are actually an elaborate TTS device. J'accuse!
I don't know what you're talking about. I am perfectly human. Listen to my heartbeat. Ba-dump, 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 ba-dump.
Cyan Walsh asks, "What got you into art?" A very good question. Another story time. This should have been called story time with Narina. Actually, it was a friend of mine. A dear friend still. And it wasn't the day after my birthday, but the weekend after my birthday. Because, well, on the day after my birthday, I broke my leg. And she came over. She actually just sat there next to me, drawing me a birthday card. And I just looked at it, the whole process, like, wow. That is amazing. Like, whoa. And I just watched and tried to absorb as many things from that as I could remember. And tried to copy the picture and try to draw other things as well. And I think I was 11 or 12. No, it was 12. Yeah, had to be 12. Yeah, it was 12. Anyway, after that I've just been drawing. And if you guys think that you can't draw, but you want to draw, first of all, if you can do this, draw a stick figure. Just draw it. If you can draw a stick figure, you can draw. You only need practice. So, another person to blame, a dear friend of mine. I blame you, totally blame you. I'm not taking responsibility of anything in my life. Darth Big Ben asks, "Where does your username come from?" Yeah, I actually... Darling Narina, or Nairina. She's a character in a book I'm writing, or a series of books I'm writing, and I think I have to change her name now. I just really like her name, and I just took it like, okay, I need to have a name on the internet. I'm like, Narina. That's a good one, I like it. Or, well, it has become Narina. Before that, it always was Nairina, but I've accepted this change. But yeah, poor little Nairina, I think I have to change your name. I'm sorry I stole it, even though I gave it to you in the first place. But yeah, now I feel like a horrible person. Anyway, moving on. Garon Chan asks, "What was the worst 40k fanfic you've ever read?" I'm sorry, I'm still a bad reader. I haven't actually read any 40k fanfics. Does this make me a bad fan of 40k? I've only read homebrews. If you count them as fanfics, I don't think they are... Like, naturally, there are some that I prefer to others, but I wouldn't say that they're bad. Not at all. It's the creation of someone's, imagination. I think it's amazing that they've created such a thing, like something in a universe that already exists, something of their own. And they write it out, and they just then send it out to the world. And then I get to read it. I mean, how cool is that? It's just amazing. Joe Kabira asks, "Have you ever thought about visiting other countries, such as other EU members or the United States? It's pretty nice in the Great Lakes region this time of year." Aw, Joe. I'd actually like to visit the Great Lakes someday. But yeah, I've already been to, several countries. Let me count. I've been to Russia, Norway, Sweden, Estonia. And we're not just counting, stops at the airport. Germany, Spain. If you count that Canary Islands as Spain, then yeah, Spain still. The UK, I've been to Scotland twice. Anything else? Belgium and Netherlands. So there are quite a lot of countries there. But yeah, I'm actually going to go and visit the UK once again, this time England, in May. And it's going to be a hoot. I'm going to go there with my mother, and I just hope it's going to be awesome. Oh, what am I saying? I know it's going to be awesome. And yeah, I'd love to travel around the world. That would be awesome. Also, I have to check out those legs of yours, Joe. Harold Allen asks, do you like working with Remlays and 40k theories, and did your character ever get her sainthood from those sisters? No, absolutely not. Hate it, no. Honestly, working with Remlays has been very, very fun. And with 40k theories in general, yeah, it has been very fun. So I have nothing to complain. And Remlays is an awesome person. And, that sainthood, I think the bureaucracy is still, rolling, so I haven't been declared anything. And I sincerely hope that they come into their senses at some point. Because, I'm not a saint. And I'm not sure if I ever want to be one. Cormtirius asks, can orbital bombardment be used as a covering fire? Where did the space manatees go? Does Inquisition use bears? When is it a bad idea to destroy enemy vessels' munitorium? Can celery be deadly? If I were a space pirate, can you recommend someone who sells high-quality equipment? Where should I put my totally legal space herbs? Does pineapple go to pizza? In addition of singing and voice acting, what other hobbies do you have? Well, let's start from the last one. What other hobbies do I have? First of all, I bake, I draw, I play video games, I go on walks, I sometimes, just cycle around. In addition to drawing, I do some painting, watercolors, sometimes oil painting. And, I have this hobby called role-playing, both live action and tabletop. And as you might have guessed from the specificness of these questions, these might have something to do with our RPG campaigns relating to 40k. So, orbital bombardment can be used as covering fire, yes, but I'm not sure if it's very effective, at least when it hits your side of the battle more than it does the enemy side. The space manatees died. They went to a better place. I wish to think that they are with the Emperor now. Does Inquisition use bears? Not initially, I hope, but if they happen to mutate, then perhaps. Or, if people happen to mutate into half bears. And it's always a bad idea to destroy enemy vessels' munitorium, especially if you are going to be thrown, after that into the warp, because you have to escape so that your, ship doesn't get destroyed. Celery is extremely deadly, especially if you're warring against it. If you were a space pirate, of course you have to buy your stuff from us. And by us, I mean Shahira Bonaire, the Lady Admiral, the rogue trader. Because, honestly, your gear is not on point. And you should put your totally legal space herbs to the cargo hold, if you happen to have one. And pineapple, this depends entirely on the pizza. If you have kebab on it, or paprika, no. But I myself, for instance, yes, I belong to those heretics that from time to time put pineapple on a pizza. And finally, YouTube Fan 101 asks, hey Narina, are you and Remlay's boyfriend and girlfriend, or are you two just friends? Well, I'll have to inform you that you're in luck. We are just friends. So, if you have your eye on the Lord Inquisitor, go for it. Unless we naturally count to this equation Inquisitor Victoria. Anyway, those were the questions that you guys asked me, and I hope I've given at least some of you satisfying answers, and once again I apologize if I totally butchered your name. Honestly, thank you for the questions. This was fun. Perhaps I should do another one at some point. Maybe at 2,000 subscriber mark or something like that. But yeah, have a lovely day and take care.